Here is grade 7, module 13, lesson 2. Our I can statement is I can make box plots and draw inferences about populations based on displayed data. So here are the two problems we're going to work through. We're going to start with our first one here to get some vocabulary. We have the box plots summarize the ticket prices for two different theaters. So here we have our first theater. The length for the box for Civic Theater is greater than the box for Memorial Theater. So Memorial Theater is here. Our Civic Theater is hanging out over here. And when it's talking about length, it literally means like the length from the beginning of the box plot to the end. Okay, so the Civic Theater, meaning the prices can range from a much lower price to a much higher price. The length of the right whisker, so that's this part here, the right whisker, is much greater for Civic Theater than Memorial Theater. So those prices could really increase. Maybe they have the Civic Theater, just to give you a visual, is maybe a bigger theater. They have very high like nosebleed seats that are cheaper, and then you can get like right up with whoever that performer is, and those seats are more expensive. The median ticket price. So for our median, let's get a different color here. The median ticket price is greater for Memorial Theater, so that's going to be this line right here. Then for the Civic Theater, so that average, or I'm sorry, not average, the median price, the middle price is more expensive for Memorial than for Civic. And the range in interquartile range for Civic Theater is greater than Memorial Theater. So that range from the beginning of it to the end of it. And then the interquartile range is that space in between the lines. So let's look a little closer here. We have our minimum. This will be our minimum, that first dot. Our maximum is our last dot. Our quartile 1 is going to be, our minimum is also going to be our quartile 1. So we can label that as quartile 1. And then our median is our middle. Okay, and then our quartile 3. Quartile 3 is here. And then our quartile 4 will be at the end as well. So let's try what we have here. So Rebecca and Eric compete in a bowling tournament. Their scores are shown. So sketch box plots to represent their scores. So that's what we have here. We found. So to go through this, we need to find our minimum. So for Eric, what is our lowest number? Our lowest number is going to be our 120. So we're going to plot that there. And we can label that in here as well. So 120. And then what's our highest score? Our maximum is going to be 180. So we can put 180. We'll put our dot over there. And then we need our quartile 1 is going to be that, let's see, 130. 130.5. Okay, so our dot's going to go in here. So just past that 130. And then that median number, so like if we cross them off back and forth, you would need to put them in order first. And then we would find that our median is 140. So we do that last little dot in the middle at that 140 range. And then our quartile 3 is going to be at our 159. Okay, let me do our dot there. All right, so then we would be able to do our lovely little box. Our box through our median. We do our little whiskers, and there's our box. So what I'd like you to do is pause the video, go through and try Rebecca. I would start by just putting the numbers in order. That's going to be your best start. And then find your minimum, find your maximum, look through your notes. How do you find quartile 1? How do you find quartile 2? And then median, you're just crossing them off. Biggest number, smallest number. Next biggest number, next smallest number, until you get that median. And then what inferences, what conclusions can you draw from the two box plots? Maybe the whiskers, that spread from median to maximum. How do those compare with these bowling scores? Pause the video, hit play when you think you have some answers. So for Rebecca, we have a minimum score of 105. So there's our dot, and then a maximum score of 175. 105, 175. And then as we put them in order, our median is going to be at 155. So it's going to be a higher median. And then our quartiles, quartile 1, 130.5, and quartile 2, 167.5. So go through and put your dots, and then let's get in here and do our whiskers and our box. Okay, and then so just looking off of our box and whiskers plot here, it looks like Eric has a little more consistency. So he doesn't have like these lower scores here. That his median score is a little bit lower, but he doesn't have those drastically dropped numbers, and he has a higher maximum. Some other inferences is that, I'll give you some answers here. Rebecca's plot has a greater median than Eric's, and the interquartile range of Rebecca's box plot is greater than Eric's. So this range here in our box plot is greater than Eric's.